Welcome back to Let's Talk to the Experts. Well, I want to hear about kind of what you will be doing in collaboration with Youth Act to educate and empower young people. But for our viewers at home, if they have a report to make, or if they're concerned about a child in a home, what does a community member do in terms of reporting?
Well, a community member can call their district Department of Children and Family Services to express their concern, or they can contact the district police station to indicate their concern.
And do you know if somebody wants to make a report, if they want to make it anonymously, is that something that can be done, or do their identities have to be known?
I don't believe identity has to be known. Obviously, if you walk into a station, you'll have to say, but especially with the Department of Children and Family Services in particular, they just want to know. They want to know which kids are at risk. So, if persons are not comfortable to say, well, this is Mary Jo calling and this is what I've seen, please don't let that be a hindrance, to make a call.
Okay. And Michael, looking at the work that the Youth Anti-Crime Trust is engaging in and the pilot that you're about to embark on, how does child sexual abuse and protecting children fit into the pilot, into the seminars that you spoke about?
For the last 3 years that I've been in the Ministry of Education, there's been a huge escalation of it. Children as young as 5 and 6 years old that's been, assaulted or molested. And I hear what Sophia is saying. I don't agree with the process. I've been a staunch advocate to improve that process, because I don't agree with a parent who knows that their child has been molested. We are saying to them, walk into Georgetown Police Station and announce that. Like, no one is going to do that. And the unfortunate part is that that's one of the bugs in the system that we need to work out. That's just not going to happen. So what happens is that it becomes a deterrent for people who actually want some help. I believe through Youth Act, we have a really great opportunity to advocate for a hotline, to advocate for more resources, and that's what this is about. The seminars that Sophia is going to be committing some time to is really just to educate children on the dangers of it. If it's happening, who they can call on, what are the signs of it. If you have a friend, that you see a slight change in their personality, in their habits, as a friend, you also have a right. I know Sophia have done extensive work in training up our teachers. I've also trained up a lot of our after-school personnel as well, because this is an issue I want to champion as well. I mean, I'm quite passionate about protecting children, and we felt that this is a huge important issue that must be addressed in the country. And like the video said, we far too long, we've been silent, we've been on the sidelines about an issue like this. And I think that, we now need to get beyond that. We have to start to talk about it and certainly develop resources. And I think Sophia has been a pretty good key to helping us with that.
Sophia, for parents at home whose children or child may be involved in that pilot, and eventually Youth Act will go right throughout all of the schools on the island, and they say, well, I don't want anybody talking to my children about that, or I don't want to upset my children, or what would you say to those parents?
Well, I would say to those parents that, first off, your kids are facing more things than you could even imagine. There's certain words that, we kind of cringe to say because we want to maintain our children's innocence. But even when I reflect on myself, when I went to school, my exposure, to pornography began at school. Somebody brought a pornographic magazine and shocked the heck out of me. These are the things that are happening in school. And no matter how you try to protect your kids at home, you don't know the world you're sending them out into. So you need to educate them. You need to let them know what's an inappropriate touch. What types of behaviors are grooming behaviors? What types of behaviors are behaviors that are trying to desensitize you to what is to come? So not having those conversations with them is doing a lot more damage, because they're going to get their information from their peers who are misinformed or who themselves have been corrupted by adults. So I would say, don't be afraid. Give your children the power of knowledge so that they can come home and say, guess what, Mom? I went to the ice cream place and there's a strange guy there, and he walked up on me, and I realized he was right up on me, and it made me feel uncomfortable. these are the conversations we need to have. You need to be okay with your kids discussing sexual matters with you, because if they don't discuss them with you, they sure are discussing them with someone else.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's helping them to understand what's appropriate, what's inappropriate, what's normal, what's not normal, and what to do when they're faced with those types of, situations that they're not sure. Can we have a conversation about that? So that's really going to be the focus of the session that I'm going to be facilitating. How do we know? What clues do we have to figure out, am I being sexually abused? Am I being groomed? Am I in a situation that's just totally inappropriate? And what do I do about it?
Now, Michael, for young people who may be in that seminar who are victims themselves, and that will likely bring up a lot of emotional issues for them, what provisions are being made to support those individuals who are being exposed to that material?
We're going to certainly have our guidance counselors on hand. We are also going to be incorporating with this folks, qualified therapists from the Department of Counseling Services. We've also reached out to them. I'm actually meeting with them tomorrow to make sure that we can get their services. But our young people certainly will be protected. We will have, if not the Department of Counseling Services, we certainly will be having qualified people there to help address some of this stuff.
And at the end of this day, this is a full day of activities, a full school day of activities, Crime Awareness Day. Is there some sort of debriefing, or what happens at the end of the day? So that, this is a lot of heavy stuff. You talked about gangs and guns and violence, and there's also the court system and sexual trauma and social responsibility. And what happens at the end to kind of bring it all together?
We get an opportunity to have kids have fun. We want to end on a really great note. So part of this is going to be a little dance, a little fun, and also get the kids an opportunity to also connect, engage with presenters, to talk about some of the things that they saw or heard, but to also make sure that we can revert back to, okay, let's have some fun now. Let's play some music. Let's talk, let's laugh, because even though it is serious and we want them to take it serious, they're children. At the end of the day, they're children, and we have to revert back to that and make sure that they leave there knowing that, one, people like us truly care. Not all adults, we're not all here just to hammer them and to lecture them, but we're here to care for them and love them as well.
All right, we're going to take a short break, but when we return, we'll have final thoughts from Michael Miles. Stay with us.